to change oil 6 quarts in or something like that. This thing takes 15 quarts to top off the oil once you do an oil change. So yeah, it gets kind of expensive to oil change on this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went. Actually, I'm trying to go out Saturday. I think I'm going to go back over to that site again and hunt Saturday morning if it's not going to be too crazy hot. I know I saw Brandon was talking earlier. It was crazy hot where he's at up in New Hampshire. So I don't. It's just been crazy hot where you're at too, hasn't it? Humidity wise.
It's been humid. It's like it's low to mid 80s, but today wasn't too bad. Yesterday was beautiful, but like 3 days in a row before that was so humid it was unbelievable. It just, even when it was like in the 70s, you were sweating. That's how bad it was.
The other day out here, I think it was 111 degrees in the sun. Not the shade temperature, but man, it felt like just boiling you. If you get in the shade, it's not too bad, but a lot of the sites I have are, kind of open, so you can't really find any reprieve in the shade at all.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of yard work, and I'll, stay on one side, working on one side, where the sun isn't, and then late in the day I can go out in the regular yard. And the sun is like behind this house, it's almost.
Yeah.
But if you're right, baking in the middle of the day, right in the middle of it, it's
miserable.
Pleasant. I've gotten too much sun over the years anyway.
My nephew was out here helping out with some stuff, and I walked outside, and he'd been working out there for like 2 or 3 hours, right in a direct. There's no shade where he was working out, and he's trying to tear apart something. And I said, "Dude, man, you're freaking have heat exhaustion or something like that, or heat stroke." I'm all right. He says you can just see him. He's wearing down. And he's only 20. I think he's 26 or 27. I said, "You're going to get your butt over here, get some water in you or something." But he's used to working like all through the day, like I used to, like you used to. It's just different. You can't do that. You can die doing that kind of stuff, even if you are young.
You got to stay hydrated. But
yeah,
if you start feeling it, it's almost too late. You can't
right.
get enough water in you. Once it starts happening.
He's over there wringing out his shirt, and it's just like wringing out a washcloth. I think, man, you got to get some water in you. I don't care if you keep on working, but just drink a lot of water, because you get like that, and it just, man, it can sneak up on you quick.
Yeah.
I had a buddy of mine that always insisted on, whether it was out fishing or whatever else, to have a beer or two, and it made a believer. We were splitting wood. I was actually up north, but it got so hot outside, and he drank like 2 or 3 beers. He ended up passing out. I mean, just from the heat, and that beer going, the alcohol in his system. So he never did that again. Of course, we were young and stupid, anyways, using power tools. Yeah, let's cut some trees down, drink a case of beer, that kind of stupid stuff. But that's no wonder we all didn't die when we were younger, so, stupidity. I think we were talking about that. They didn't put warning labels on a lot of stuff back then. I mean, if you had a metal Tonka truck and you threw it at your brother or sister and it knocked them out, well, and it hurt them, you just didn't do that no more. Or a bicycle, you jump on your bike and you bop your head on the ground. Well, you just wouldn't jump the bike like that anymore. So you learn from experience. Nowadays, I saw this one kid riding a bike. It was in Tampa. I don't know, he was probably 9, 10 years old. He looked like he had body armor on. I mean, elbow pads and knee pads and helmet and gloves. And I don't know, I thought back, and it's like we were out there in flip-flops, and riding around, jumping jumps and everything. Like I said, I'm surprised we all didn't die, Crash and burn. Jeez.
Well, we didn't have seatbelts in cars when I was a kid.
Right. Well, yeah.
Seatbelts.
And they had metal dashboards. Think about that.
Yeah. A lot of times, I think there was times when you, back then, you didn't have to have a motorcycle helmet.
Oh, here we go. Swazi Searcher on here. He says, guilty of having a beer or two and then climbing on the roof to clean up the chimney. I saw this one Facebook post. It showed a four-wheeler stuck in the side of a barn. And on the bottom of it, it says, this started with, "Hey, somebody hold my beer." And he's jumped wrecked into the side of the building. God. I don't know. When I worked on a ranch as a foreman, as a rodeo arena and ranch and stuff for about 4 years in my early 20s. Just, bulletproof and everything else back then. And, we used to drink beer all the time and work on stuff and weld. And, just nobody ever got hurt. I guess we're just lucky. I don't know. We're so dumb we were lucky. But, or out there, riding horses or whatever else, it just, you hear about these horror stories, people getting hurt really bad. It's like, man, I don't know how I lucked out so much. We used to ride to the, it was like 2 or 3 miles to the convenience store because nobody had a, actual car that ran any good. So we'd ride the horses out there, and pretty soon we stop at the bar right next door, and we're all trashed. And a lot of us don't even remember how we got home. The horse wandered back to the barn with us on him, and that's the only reason we made it back. Oh, God. I'm surprised we never got picked up for drunk riding or something like that, Oh, those were the days. Then I turned 30 and figured out everything hurts, and I don't need to do that anymore, I guess. So.
Back in the bad old days, huh?
Yeah. I had fun. What the heck, man? You only live once.
I remember my grandfather used to go, "The hell with those good old days in the past." He goes, "Hell, we had to have a damn outhouse back then."
Yep.
They weren't the good old days.
Yeah, Mike was just saying too. Somebody mentioned the helmets on motorcycles. You don't have to ride with a helmet in Florida with riding a motorcycle. But I would suggest it. There's a reason I don't know. Really? Oh yeah, I wouldn't ride a motorcycle down here. I mean, I'm not worried about my riding skills, but these idiots sometimes. I'm not going to call them all idiots, but I've seen more motorcycle wrecks, and the guy on a motorcycle wasn't doing anything but just riding down the road, and somebody runs him over, comes off a side street and runs a stop sign or a red light. It's just, and that'd be my luck. I believe in Murphy's Law a lot. So,
it's like in Virginia, you can drive and talk on your cell phone, but in Maryland, you can't.
Yeah. What they had to figure out is most people can't walk and chew gum at the same time. So why would you want them talking on a cell phone and driving?
Yeah. Well, sometimes when I'm at a stoplight, I'll sit there and look at the drivers in the cars going by, and it's like about at least half of them have a cell phone up to their head. It seems like,
My mom always, she doesn't like to call my cell phone because she says, "Well, you might be driving." I told her I spent almost 18 years in semis, and we talk on a cell phone, or later on talked on cell phones. We had CB radios and this and that, but I really didn't ever care about a conversation, enough when I was driving to not pay attention to the road. I mean, the road was always more important because that's what, you don't want to die, so if something happened, I was dropping the cell phone on the floor. I didn't care. Or I'd have to ask them, "What'd you say again?" Because I'm not a talker on a phone, I guess you could say. But a lot of people can't walk and chew gum at the same time, so that kind of ruins that anymore. The texting and driving drives me crazy. And matter of fact,
that's ridiculous.
I almost got hit by a semi-driver today, going up to take my wife up to a doctor's appointment, and he was texting. I could see him texting right, and all of a sudden he came right over across halfway in my lane. I'm on the inside shoulder. I'm like, dude, really? And not just drive. They we used to have computer systems in our semis, the Qualcomm systems, or they probably still have them. I don't know. I haven't driven in a while, but it was actually like I'm going to say it's like a laptop, but it's not. But anyways, you can, see your load information, where you got to deliver and everything else. And after they had a few wrecks when they first came out, they made it so you had to have the truck stopped in order to work, because those guys were going down the road typing on like a computer, just driving down the road like that. So they had to make safety shutoffs on that stuff. So it's like, I don't know.
Well, now you can, like I have Siri, I can do it off my watch.
Yeah. I like, my favorite all-time warning label is on a hairdryer. I think it's still on there. Do not get near water. Do not use in the shower. Let's dry my hair in the shower, yeah, with it running. That's the way to do it. But it does frustrate me sometimes because the way our house is set up, where the outlets are, to get by the mirror, you have to go near the sink. Obviously, it's above the sink, and the hairdryer cord's too short, so you have to put an extension cord on it. It's like, oh, God. And that's because some idiot probably got in the bathtub or shower with it and fried themselves or something. But who knows? See, a lot of these guys, the second reason not to ride a bike in Florida, Ohio Relic Hunter, bugs, LOL. Yeah, that's another thing. Why I never did ride.
Oh my God, I wouldn't have thought about that.
I tell you what, any of you hardcore Harley guys, I mean, my hat's off to you. Come down here, ride without a helmet during love bug season. That'll make a believer out of a face shield at least. Those things, man, those things, little bugs all over your car. You just go through a cloud of them, and it'd break you of that habit. Swallow a few of them things. They're nasty to look at. So when I was younger, I got hit in the forehead with a beetle, those Japanese beetles up in Indiana, and I was flying down a dirt road on a bike there and smacked me right in the forehead and left a big old welt. I'm like, yeah, that'd be the last time I do that. My buddy caught one of those stick bugs right in the cheek and actually went into his cheek, riding without a helmet on. I don't worry about falling off the bike. I worry about the idiots and the bugs,
Yeah. What if you get like a big hornet or a wasp or something?
Yeah, yeah. I've seen guys that got him in the chest, like hit him in the chest or whatever, got in their shirt, stung the hell out of them. I don't know. But my favorite one is watching the guy today in like shorts, no shirt on, flip-flops, riding his Harley down the road. I'm like, really, guy? My brother-in-law tried that and fell over with the bike at the intersection. His foot slipped out of the flip-flop. It broke and I laid the whole bike over at the stoplight in town. That was funny. And he's a small guy, so he had to try to get help lifting the bike up, because some of these Harleys are really heavy. So talk about an embarrassing moment. Hey, he didn't wear flip-flops anymore. Jeez. Knock your chiclets down in the back of your throat. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Ohio Relic Hunter and Mike are on a roll now. Let's see. 100. It's 100% Darwinism, something like that. That's what he said. But yeah, guys. I mean, it's a little bit after 9. We kind of got off on a tangent here. Sometimes stuff just strikes us funny, and we got to talk about it. But yeah, you can check us out every Thursday night and Saturday night at 8 p.m. And we're on, right here on Spreakers.com. You can get to the links from the Facebook pages or our forum at BlissfulAmerica.us or the website at BlissfulAmerica.com. Get on there and check out the new prices and become a member of the forum. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't matter which detector you use. You can post up stuff about your detectors and what you're finding and stuff. We're real friendly on there. We don't, the only rule we have really is keep it family friendly. We do have some younger people on there, so that's about the only rule. Don't be crude about stuff. But yeah, Craig has the Blissful America Facebook page, and I run the Hardcore Metal Detecting Facebook page, so you're welcome to get on there and like them also. But Craig, I think that's going to call it a night then.
All right, sounds good.
All right, and thanks guys for being on the chat line there. We had fun just reading your chat post on there. Well, we'll talk to you guys on Saturday night. Get out there, keep digging, and God bless.